Hey, I'm Cliffhanger, and this is the movie Jailbreak Pact. Unhappy with the new regime, prisoners unite and dig an underground tunnel to freedom. How many people want to escape? A total of 120, way too many. The film, based on true events, begins with a short historical background presented in captions. In 1988, during the military dictatorship of General Augusto Pinochet in Chile, more than 2,000 people were held in the Santiago public prison, among them 120 political prisoners, including members of the Manuel Rodríguez Patriotic Front. These people faced the death penalty for armed uprising against Pinochet's bloody regime. They staged hunger strikes and protests, demanding to be moved to a separate wing, away from common criminals who did not share the pro-communist views of the revolutionaries. Their demands were motivated not only by safety concerns, but also by more practical goals. The prisoners planned to organize an escape. On July 11, 1988, the first day of preparations arrived. The demands of the political prisoners were finally met. They were lined up and marched out of their cells into the yard. Not all high-ranking officials were happy with this outcome. Prosecutor Andrade accused prison warden Colonel Jorge Roux of indulging terrorists. In his opinion, all political prisoners should be split up and sent to different prisons across the country. The colonel argued it was easier to watch them when they were in one place, but the prosecutor thought this was foolish. As the prisoners were marched through the yard, common criminals in a fenced-off area threatened them with violence and treated them with prejudice, all because of the rebels' political beliefs. The political prisoners were distributed into two empty blocks. One of the main characters, engineer Leon Vargas, failed to get cell 50 and had to take the one next door, much to the dismay of his accomplice Rafael, who had chosen a spot directly beneath cell 50 to make communication easier. By the third day, the prisoners were settling into their blocks, doing repairs, playing football, and taking advantage of small privileges. Meanwhile, the ringleaders discussed the escape details and the tunnel plan. From the other side, their colleagues in the business were expected to dig toward them, but even within the core group, trust was shaky. They nearly came to blows over suspicions about a failed attempt on Pinochet's life. Vargas even refused to shake hands in reconciliation. Still, they had to work together and stick to the plan. The main challenge now, what to do with 50-70 tons of earth from the tunnel. Rafael approached by another inmate, who also wanted to escape and was making his own plan. On the fifth day, the prisoners picked the wall where the tunnel would start. Using tools, they removed one of the concrete blocks while also preparing mortar to seal the hole back up. Soon, a new batch of inmates arrived, including Oscar Lira, son of a famous revolutionary. Human rights activist Fabiola Pizarro was concerned for his fate, but the prosecutor refused her request to meet with him. Meanwhile, the escape team sawed out an entire ceiling block. The problem now was how to hide the hole. They went to the kitchen for eggs and searched for a big enough poster to cover the work area. Vargas climbed onto the roof to see how much space there was, enough to hide the excavated soil. While they prepared the mortar, guards came for an inspection. As the guards searched the lower cells, the prisoners upstairs sang loudly to mask the noise of repairs. Thanks to teamwork and the guards' inattention, they managed to hide the ceiling hole in time and avoid discovery. On visiting day, it turned out Leon Vargas had no one to see. His whole family had been killed. Later, on TV, the government announced that opposition members would be allowed to express dissatisfaction legally, but the inmates took this news with skepticism. That same night, one prisoner was taken away at gunpoint for a supposed review of his case. The escape leaders moved to the next stage, breaking through a wall. When a guard showed up unexpectedly, they quickly hid the hole, plugging it with the ceiling block. Then the real digging began, transferring soil to the roof. The work was long, monotonous, and dangerous. But progress was made. On day 77, with the tunnel less than 2 meters deep, they realized they had overestimated their strength. They needed more manpower. During another trash run, Rafael was stopped and searched. On top were harmless items, clothes, and a coffee can. He was taken for a strip search, but managed to pass the bag to his accomplices and act dumb. Meanwhile, the guard demanded his usual supply of adult magazines. Oscar Lira ended up in solitary after arguing with the guards. Later, during a visit, he quarreled with his brother, who had refused to join the fight against Pinochet. As the political climate in Chile shifted, the prisoners knew they had to hurry before law enforcement decided to take harsher measures. The ringleaders recruited more inmates, teaching them the rules, secret signs, and escape protocols. During a friendly football match, Oscar told Rafael he also wanted in. He'd figured out the plan from the dirt under their nails. On day 149, they heard that the Manuel Rodríguez Front had attacked a police station in a small town. Rafael thought the action did more harm than good, turning public opinion against them. Colonel Jorge Roux tightened security, and guards conducted surprise searches while some conspirators were disposing of soil. To buy time, Rafael and others staged a fight with the guards, allowing the diggers to seal the tunnel entrance and change clothes. The prisoners were stripped to their underwear and made to kneel in the yard, but their spirit remained unbroken. They sang together. Rafael's wife Paulina tried to persuade communists outside to help, but party leadership refused, not wanting to be linked to a risky operation before the upcoming elections. Before court, the prosecutor told Rafael he faced the death penalty, but lawyer Fabiola reassured him there was still time to appeal. Paulina had also found a few people willing to help from the outside. On day 392, a digger fainted in the tunnel, and Rafael had to drag him out. Using ingenuity, they built a ventilation system from scrap parts, then later added lighting. Meanwhile, the prosecutor pushed to transfer the political prisoners to other jails. It also emerged that one inmate was an informant, pressured through his family. On day 524, they broke through to the surface and marked the spot with paint through a tube. Rafael noticed the informant smoking the same brand of cigarettes as the prosecutor, a giveaway. Outside, a Communist Party member found the marked spot, but it was 12 meters from the planned location. When Paulina asked how many were escaping, Rafael said, 120, too many for a clean getaway. Some will have to stay behind. On day 559, an earthquake struck, forcing the diggers to retreat before the roof collapsed. The tunnel held, but another quake could bury it. January 29, 1990, day 5167 of the escape plan. During a movie screening, the participants left one by one for the tunnel. The first crawled toward freedom through a shaft as narrow as a capitalist's worldview. The informant noticed suspicious activity and began searching for Rafael. Another inmate accused him of being a snitch, buying precious time. The informant burst into the tunnel cell, where only Oscar Lira was left. Oscar invited him to join, but worried for his family, the informant ran to alert the guards. They fought. Oscar stabbed him with a screwdriver and knocked him out, then dragged himself into the tunnel. Outside, helpers broke through and began pulling prisoners out. They had 5 minutes to reach a waiting bus. No delays. Moving as one, the escapees crept toward a bridge. One ringleader went back for Oscar. Back in prison, an inmate in a wheelchair told others there was still a chance. One cell had a ready-made tunnel. The guards realized something was wrong and called reinforcements, who caught some before they could crawl inside. The bus with the first group departed without Oscar. His friend returned empty-handed. In the city, authorities blocked roads. Colonel Roux was told that out of 120 political prisoners, 49 had escaped. Bleeding, Oscar was found in a shower. Paulina handed out fake documents to the escapees so they could blend in. Former prisoners were dropped off on different streets to disappear. Rafael had to part ways with Paulina, who waved goodbye before stepping off the bus. Alone in the back seat, he smiled, satisfied that the insane plan had worked. The film ends with captions about the prisoners' fates. Some fled abroad. Others were pardoned by the next president after Pinochet's fall. This became the largest prison escape in Chile's history. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. That helps my channel a lot. See you.